Greetings, this is Black Hat, here to introduce the newest Wyatt Orels in my catalog.
Hello everyone, and welcome back on a brand new episode of today's analysis. As for now, we are going to discuss about Black Hat, the main protagonist in Villainous, and overall, the overarching antagonist of Cartoon Network itself. One of the most evil cartoon characters ever created, as well as recently one of the most iconic as well. Black Hat, in my personal opinion, could be seen by many as Cartoon Network's ultimate villain, similar to how Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls is seen for Disney. And I want to give my compliments to Alan Ituriel, who has done a great job in both creating and voicing the character, as he voiced him in both English and Spanish. And in this episode, we're going to talk all that you know about Black Hat throughout the shorts, the 2021 miniseries, and any kind of info that we still have on him, to understand him and why he is Black Hat. And now, let's begin. Now, the entity we all now call Black Hat is completely unknown to us. Its real name, its species, origins, etc. is unknown. All that we know is the fact that Alan Ituriel himself said that Black Hat is like an entity from the void, an entity from beyond that assumed the form of Black Hat in order to interact with humanity and with any kind of life form. Its intelligence is beyond perhaps human level. And eventually this entity has become something like a supervillain, as this thing has destroyed Pompeii and the ancient Roman city in 79 AD into a fit of rage, and thus it's implied the Black Hat might be at least 2000 years old. But regardless, this was the original design for a character back in 2012. What we see now is the current design since 2017, and this is the upcoming design for 2027 comeback. But anyway, he eventually became one of the world's most feared villains ever existed. And he founded now the Black Hat organization in the 1930s. And he's been running it for nearly a century as his retirement plan. And now, in the 21st century, he still sells his inventions to other supervillains so they can defeat their heroes in their lives, and has three primary enforcers: Dr. Flug, Dementia, and 505, each one of them having their own different backstories. And whilst we can see throughout the shorts that he presented various inventions and products to villains in general, we see throughout the miniseries that he did help a number of villains to defeat their heroes, like Penumbra helping to defeat Sunblast, or like the Ghost Children to save their house from being demolished, or the supervillain known as Virus, or eventually dealing with the copycat known as Black Hot, as well as defeating the superhero known as Mystique. But regardless of anything, Black Hat always takes the souls of the villains that he helps as something that they have to give in return for his services. And now, before we continue, need now to stop and ask: is Black Hat evil? And I want to put this question because while it's an absolutely undeniable fact that this thing is evil, there are two things that we need to discuss. The first thing is the fact is confirming that Black Hat himself is literally made of evil, and thus by this logic, he shouldn't be able to do anything but to be evil. But this guy is not the first embodiment of evil I analyze, I also analyze the likes of Aku from Samurai Jack or Trigon from the Teen Titans, which both are embodiments of evil in their own respective stories, and they also were morally and completely aware of what they are doing, had no remorse whatsoever, and even shown moments of actual vulnerability. Even Black Hat is shown that he also has all of these traits, and thus he can actually stop being evil at least for some time at least, in the sense that he also can be boring, not necessarily good. He still doesn't do that and still chooses to harm others for his own sake, thus proving that he is evil. But another theory that I want to discuss is the fact that it's heavily theorized by some that Black Hat might be secretly good, in the sense that the villains that he helped throughout the miniseries were themselves mostly victims, like Penumbra, who as a scientist wanted to cure skin cancer and became a supervillain by accident, and her hero Sunblast is pretty much a bully. And the ghost children were literal children who resided into a haunted house, and the hero that tried to stop them would literally look like a monster. Or eventually the Mexican wife whose husband was possessed by the mask and she wanted to save him. Or even Miss Steve from the very last episode who brainwashed an entire city. Now I understand that it is meant by the creators to show the world to be not in black and white but more complicated. It should also be noted here that these guys were mostly victims rather than villains. But, as many people noted, Black Hat doesn't care if the villains themselves are pure evil like himself or victims, as he's still willing to negotiate with any villain regardless of their origins or and what they really are, further proving that Black Hat is evil and he still took the souls of all of these people, thus bonding them to him for perhaps eternity. And in the end, the answer is yes, this guy is evil and he's pretty much pure evil. And now he's still alive, he's still well on his island, in his manner, and he still continues to do as many horrible things as one can possibly can. So in the end, who is Black Hat? He's nothing more but a diabolical monster from the unknown, a monster that became a supervillain and a capitalist at the end, who does anything to profit from the pain and misery of others, and a monster that could easily be called as one of the most iconic cartoon villains ever conceived. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give a like, share, and subscribe, and have a nice day.
We're now running a new special. Giant monster-sized bear. Perfect for stampeding through your town. Any takers?